everybody, welcome to this channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here. I'm talking way too fast sometimes, and sometimes like it's not very clear when I'm talking very fast, and I look in the editing and I'm like, damn, stop that, Anya. I know I've said many times these past few weeks, and I think even months, that I don't really like doing like neutral makeup looks, and honestly, like, I don't usually, but this is a kind of like me taking neutral makeup and putting like my own spin on it. I used a lot of glitter. I used like a lot of like really like rich red kind of tones. So this is a neutral makeup look, yes, but I did make it a lot more fun. So there is something in here for everyone. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a little bit of like a nice experience to film because I really haven't done like a talk through tutorial in so long, so it was like really refreshing to really just run my mouth for an entire video. But I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave you to it. I'm going to be using some of these like warm ready shades, and I'm going to try and create a look with this. So I'm going to be starting off using this color right here. I want to address something that I think some of you may have been noticing, and that has to do with my sound quality on my in my videos. If you like listen throughout this video and throughout like many of my videos, then you probably will hear like some kind of like clicking, some kind of camera noises, and I do understand if it gets irritating, and I'm sorry. Hopefully it's not irritating. Hopefully. That's just my camera and my lens doing autofocus, like, and automatically focusing. I'm actually planning to do a video, if I haven't already posted by the time this video goes out, but it's going to be a video that talks about camera settings and how to understand them. So for those of you who have not familiarized yourselves with camera settings, that might be an interesting video to watch. But if you do know what I'm talking about, then this should be easy for you to understand. Basically, like, my settings always, in my camera, I always, when I'm filming, have a low aperture. I have an aperture of 1.8, and usually people don't do that on YouTube. People tend to have like 4.0, which basically means that the background is less blurry, but for me, a lower aperture works because I use a lot of natural light. This video is like going to be filmed in natural light completely, so I use a lot of natural light in my videos. So if I have natural light, then I want to have a video that's as bright as possible. So having a low aperture helps with that. But if I don't have my camera on autofocus, then sometimes I move slightly and my face will get blurry, right? So I have to have my camera set on autofocus. I'm going to be using, by the way, I think this color to blend out my crease a little bit. Since I have my camera on autofocus, every time I move or every time like something happens, like the camera will make noise, you know, and like the lens will make noise. And since I have no mic, really, like I use the microphone in the camera for my videos, then the camera picks it up even if I can't hear it. Even if I'm this close and I'm sitting here and I can't hear it, the camera will pick it up anyway, and it will show up in the video. So there are ways to solve this problem, but they involve buying a microphone, which I have not done and probably will not do for a long time, simply because microphones are really expensive, and it just doesn't make sense for me to invest in something that I will only be able to use in my videos, because my videos aren't making enough money to be able to justify an expensive purchase for the videos, right? Because I love makeup, and I would still be wearing makeup and having fun with makeup even if I wasn't doing YouTube. And I do photography more often than I do makeup, so it makes sense for me to have a higher end camera because I use it all the time, not just for videos. I use it mainly for photography. I just use it for videos on the side. But if I bought a microphone, then I would only be using it for my videos, and it would not be like a very wise purchase for me, because right now I don't have a lot of subscribers. And if I don't have a lot of subscribers, then I'm not making any money on YouTube. And if I'm not making any money on YouTube, why should I spend money that I have to save for a microphone when I'm not getting the investment back? Does that make any sense? So I will not be getting a microphone for a long time. At some point I would love to get one, but that's not going to happen very soon, and I don't see it happening very soon. So I mean, I hope it might, but I don't think it will. So that's just like my little spiel. That's just my explanation for the noise that you hear in my videos. I'm very sorry about that. I really hope that, like, I really wish that it wasn't such an issue like this, but usually people don't have this problem because they buy microphones. However, that is not the best idea for me, so that was the spiel. I'm kind of like adding a little bit of that orangey color into this little groove of my eye. It's a part that's kind of below my brow bone. I do like to use my fingers a lot when it comes to makeup, and a lot of times, like, if I see extra color where I don't want it to be, then I will just use my fingers to clean it up. And it's a habit, honestly. That's just what it is. I noticed that some people don't like to do that, and they like to use brushes. I mean, I'm using a brush right now. But some people don't like to use their fingers at all, really, when it comes to makeup, and I think that's a mistake. I think that fingers are a fantastic thing to use. And I end up, like, honestly, when I'm done with the makeup look, I always end up having dirty hands, dirty thighs, dirty arms. Wait, this sounds really weird. But when I'm done with the makeup look, I always end up like having like completely like blotchy skin. I end up having like pigment everywhere and eyeshadow everywhere, and it gets a little bit messy, but you know, that's just my life right there. I'm going to show you my favorite combination that I've been doing with foundation, and it has been mixing the Fenty Beauty foundation that you all know that I love. And I usually just do a little pump of that, and then I mix in the Hello Halo Wet n Wild liquid highlighter. And this is a combination that will give you like shimmery skin. Like if you go in direct sunlight and you look at your face, like if you go in like super direct sunlight, like noon time, and you look at your face and you look really closely, you will see like the little shimmery flecks, and some of you might hate that. However, I notice that whenever I do this little combination, whenever I mix this little concoction on the back of my hand, then my skin looks like so glowy in this amazing way, because it doesn't look as if there's like any kind of visible highlight, because the shimmery like particles are so fine. But if I'm in lighting, for example, like this, or if I'm inside, or even if I'm outside and I'm in soft lighting, then it just makes my face look so beautifully glowy and like in a natural way. It really just enhances my natural bone structure. It just does so much, and I love this combination. So I really do think that if you haven't tried mixing in like a really luminous liquid highlighter with your matte foundation, you should. And this combination has really just been making me feel some type of way recently, so I wanted to share that with you. I'm always like honestly like mixing different foundations together, like different formulas and different products together. So I don't know, like this is just like my current thing, and it always changes. It never stays the same, honestly. Like I'm always experimenting with like different ways of doing my makeup, but currently this is what I've really been liking to do on my face, and it makes my skin look absolutely bomb. Because I mean, the Fenty is so high coverage, right? The Fenty foundation is so high coverage, but at the same time, like when I add that little bit of like a highlight to the foundation, it really makes my skin have this like sort of like perfectly like lit from within look, which I love. So for my under eyes, I believe I would like to be using maybe this color right here mixed in with this color. So I'm just going to mix these two shades. I'm not using a lot of shades from this palette. I'm just using a few because I want this to be like specifically like red. I have been working on getting my Instagram account up and running again. I'm not sure if you know, some of you follow my Instagram, but not everyone here does, and I just wanted to let you know that I do have an Instagram where I post makeup looks on Instagram, obviously. But basically, like, the thing that has been going on with that is that I stopped posting there for like a month or so, which was unusual because at one point I was posting every day, but or at least every 2 days, but yeah, it was just getting harder to post stuff on Instagram and also post YouTube videos. And when I went on vacation, I ended up like not posting to that Instagram at all. And especially like even before then, actually, I wasn't posting because before then I had like finals and AP exams and IB exams, and like honestly, like my Instagram was not my priority. Instagram, I mean, it looks easy, but having a makeup Instagram and then having to put in like all like the product names and tagging everybody and putting in the links to people's accounts, because like it's just a lot of work, you know. And sometimes I can go into the description of like a makeup tutorial on YouTube and copy and paste, but other times if I'm just doing like a regular video, it doesn't and I made this decision. I was like thinking to myself, how can I make this easier, because I want to post more stuff on Instagram and I don't want it to die. So what I decided to do is I was like, you know what, Anya? Just don't post all the products. And yeah, I know that some people don't like that, but I posted a makeup look yesterday, and honestly, like, I got the same amount of likes on that makeup look as I usually got. And that makeup look, I just had like a sort of like a really long caption that sort of talked about how I made this makeup look and the thought process behind it. And then I had like one product, and usually I have like 20, and I don't think it made any difference to anybody. So I will not be posting product descriptions on Instagram, and I think that is going to help me be less crazy, because I mean, like, it's less work and I can just post the look and I can hashtag it and that's it. This is kind of inspired, I think, by like the really like sexy smoldering look that Jaclyn Hill did a while ago. I think I'll put it right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I loved that look, and I haven't actually tried out anything like it. I mean, this look is like not completely inspired by that look, honestly, because I'm not even looking at a picture of that look, but I have it in my mind and I have like my interpretation of it in my mind also, so that's what I'm working on today. I think I'll be using this just here. This is the Sugar Pill loose eyeshadow in Penelope. I have not used this in a hot minute, and it is it's a fun shadow. Just like look at it. Yeah, there it is. Like, look at that goodness. Okay, honestly, like, it's just easier to take the color that's left on the lid and just use that. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use my finger. You know what? I'm going to do something I haven't done before. And we're just going to like spray my finger with the Morphe setting spray. So like I have like a wet finger, so so I can put this color on my lid and have it look super foiled. Even though in all honesty it looks absolutely amazing just dry. But sometimes you want to go for the extra oof-a-fa. Okay, going in with this really tiny Morphe brush now. I'm dipping it in to, well, not anything really. I think what I'll do is I'll just use this to blend out the edges. One thing that I forgot about this eyeshadow that I should have remembered, and that is the fact that this eyeshadow has a crap ton of fallout. Like, I'm not sure if you can see or not, but there is a lot. So I'm just going to take a fan brush and fix the situation. I think what I really want to do now is I want to mix these two glitters right here. This is a Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow eyeshadow, I think, in Kitten Karma. And then this is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal eyeshadow, well, Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in Midnight Cowboy. I'm going to first apply this using my fingers. I'm sort of blending it out, honestly. Last weekend I was helping a friend out with a beauty pageant. It was my first time like at a beauty pageant, and I was doing her makeup, and she told me that a lot of the other girls were complimenting her makeup, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I was really flattered, of course, because I mean, obviously I worked really hard, and I was really glad when she told me that they were complimenting her eye makeup, specifically her glitter, because I mean, for the evening gown section of the pageant, I was basically layering and layering, like silver eyeshadow mixed in with like some glitter glue. Then I was using like this glitter right here, and then I was using a little bit of the Urban Decay glitter, basically piling on glitter, honestly. And when you do multiple layers of like different glitters, it really has a beautiful effect, because it ends up making the glitter like more three-dimensional, and it makes it more interesting and a little bit more eye-catching, because like, for example, this is like a light gold, almost silver glitter, and this is like a light pink. So mixing these two together along with like silver eyeshadow or like a really warm eyeshadow like I'm doing here, it kind of creates something like really new and really interesting that I kind of love, you know. So like, honestly, the camera doesn't even do like this glitter justice, so this is inconvenient. I think I'll be applying some heavier lashes. I need to find scissors to cut them, and I don't know where they are, because like these are too big for me. But while that's going on, I'm just going to quickly put some mascara on my eyes. And then I'm going to go fix a little lash situation that we have going on. Actually, what I forgot, inner corner highlight, I'll be using the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm going to dip in using like a really small brush. And I'm going to go and mix this shade with this shade. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, okay, it looks so nice in person, but on camera, this look in general, it just looks like very lackluster, and it doesn't look as good as it does in real life, I can tell you that. I really like this look so far. I feel like it's very warm tone, which it is, obviously. This look is like probably the first warm tone look I've done in a while. Like completely exclusively warm toned. And like usually I'm pretty sure you've been hearing me like harp on about like how warm tones are kind of like not in anymore, and I don't really like to use warm tones, and yeah, that is true to an extent. I mean, I still love the way that they look on my eye. It's just like, in order to make warm tones exciting for me, I have to do like something like really like out there, like this look, in order to keep me interested, because most warm tone looks are quite boring for me, so I have to like go a little bit like extra in order to like still be interested in a look like this. I'm gonna be doing my highlight real quick. This is the Kylie Cosmetics Loose Highlight. What I have been doing with it is I've been applying like a pretty light wash, and what I usually do is I just take like this little fluffy like highlighter brush that I have. Well, it's a paintbrush, as many of you know if you are OGs, but it is a brush that I like to use for highlighter because it really just works. you know, so like I like to go with a very light hand. And notice that I am applying blush before I'm applying bronzer. This is something that I've been trying on and off recently. If you're looking for like a pretty like I don't want to say subtle, because highlight is not necessarily subtle. If you're looking for a more like neutralized version of a highlighter on your skin, I would suggest actually putting on highlighter before you put on your bronzer, because if you go a little bit down and you think that, oh yeah, there's too much highlight, what you can do is you can just basically go in with your bronzer afterwards and sort of make your face a little bit more bronzy and make the highlight the first layer. Does that make any sense? I mean, I don't know, honestly, what I'm saying half the time, but I hope you get that. So anyway, I'm going to be doing my bronzer real quick, and I'm just going to be using the same thing I always use, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This just works for me. Do I wish they had a better shade range? Absolutely. But it works for me, and it is very like inexpensive, so I use it. So as you can see, I am putting this bronzer on quite heavily, and it's sort of like touching the highlight, and I feel like it's almost framing it, because it's making it pop even more because I have the bronzer so close to it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I don't think I'll be putting as much as I've been putting usually, because I have been using bronzer a lot recently. I'm going to be using a little bit of the Wet n Wild lip liner in the shade Bear to Comment. I think I overlined it just a little bit, which is okay. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing my lips with a Rimmel Stay Matte liquid lipstick in Mocha. This is one of my more true nudes. I mentioned before that I do have a pretty sizable collection of nudes, but many of them are pinky toned, and I prefer wearing something like this, honestly, because like this is like pink, but it's a neutral undertone, if that makes any sense. So that's why I like wearing this lipstick so often. And then what I usually do is I just put it, is I just add a gloss on top. I'm not sure what I'll do today. I think I'll be using the Essence liquid lipstick, and this is like the little nude one. This is not a liquid lipstick, this is a gloss, but apparently Essence doesn't know makeup because they called it a liquid lipstick. But they do know how to make a gloss. Okay, so that is pretty much the end of this makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. It's very warm toned, as you can probably already tell. I have done several looks like this on my Instagram, but I've never done a tutorial where it looked quite like this. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to use a palette that I know a lot of people have, so I ended up using the Jaclyn palette. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in another video. Bye guys.